This is the story of a man who nearly lost everything. A man who nearly lost the rights to his beloved comics. A man who nearly lost his chance at a true and honest sweetheart. A man who nearly lost his mind battling the imposter that sought to swindle him. This is the story of Liquid Chris. What is up, gamers? It is your boy Richard back at it again with another quickie reading. And if my mic sounds different, it's because it is different. I bought a new mic that I'm currently testing out. So without further ado, today we will be reading about anime. And the quickie starts out by stating that this is your tax dollars at work. The contents of this page have been bought with taxpayer money via Chris Chan's Tugboat. Before we get started, I want to state that these are the opinions of Solid Chris. The opinions of Liquid Chris on anime is currently not known, but we do know Solid's. And we know Solid is a complete weeaboo. And I want you to ask yourself one question as I read this. Would the true Christian Weston Chandler be a complete weeaboo? Anime is a colloquial term for Japanese animation, a rather popular style that's been subbed, dubbed, and emulated for its many hit series worldwide, drawing the attention of many loyal followers, including Chris. Over the years, Chris has taken quite an interest in the medium, whether it be for inspiration or self-pleasure. Hopefully we will be covering more of the former than the latter, but we shall see. It's managed to make itself quite a large part of Chris's life. Chris enjoys the art form to some extent as well, although it's not his primary obsession. Needless to say, he's watched a lot of anime, bought plenty of anime through the PlayStation Network, and swiped as many ideas as he can get his head around from his favorite anime series. Over here we have a little picture made by Chris. You can tell it's Chris because he just stole a bunch of stuff and slapped his name on it. Over here are some pictures not made by Chris, and you can tell because there's actual work and effort put into them. Chris and anime. It's not clear when Chris first discovered Japanese cartoons, although it's safe to guess that Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z were the seeds. He was a serious Pokemon enthusiast by the late 90s, and by 2004 he had enough interest in anime generally to attend the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention in Richmond, Virginia. Chris doesn't appear to be into anime as much as people think he is, even if he often gets slapped with the weeaboo tag. Yes, dear viewer, I am guilty of slapping him with such a tag. Turns out you can't call man-children who have an entire page dedicated to anime a weeaboo anymore. He returned to Anime Mid-Atlantic in 2005, but hasn't been back to a convention since then. He considered a trip to Baltimore's Otakon convention in 2010, but primarily as a way of meeting Jackie in person. In his posts on the Adult Swim forums, he didn't have much to say about the Japanese imports on the Adult Swim schedule, except to note that he didn't like the cartoonish male nudity in Crayon Shin-chan. Big shock there. He wanted to see more anime featuring very close to nude girls. That's an even bigger shock. Chris still ripped off characters and story concepts from anime left and right, however, and he still watches some newer anime series. His PSN account shows that he downloaded the entire harem comedy drama Shuffle in 2009. Given that it stars a hapless twit who finds himself surrounded by willing women for not any particular reason, Chris probably loved it. He's yet to comment on the scene where the main character got his eye cut by his psychotic gal pal. Okay. Thank you, Japan. Very cool. He also downloaded all of Gunslinger Girl in early 2010, doing plenty to undermine his contention that he is not a pedophoric. Thank you, Chris. Very cool. According to his Netflix queue from around November 2009, Chris has purchased a number of anime in big sets. His anime sets centered around 3 of his likes: Sonic, Transformers, and Scantily Clad Women. In terms of Sonic, only 3 discs were seen purchased, all 3 centered on Sonic X. It is more than likely that before the queue was taken, he had seen the other discs that comprises the series. While he had most of the Transformers series that were made in the last 10 years, some of those were part of the Transformers saga known as the Unicorn Trilogy, Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. The rest of the anime, as stated earlier, revolve around women, strong women who are capable of defending themselves without simpering over a man, unlike some creatures we all know and love. Some of those films and series include Read or Die, Slayer's Return, and... How do I say this? Is this German? It's German, it's Elfen Lied. If it's Japanese, I don't know. And probably the least surprising of all, Kekko Kamen? A comedic action series featuring a heroine who battles evil while stark naked. The last series might have had a particular impact on Chris as the face attack of Jason Kendrick Howell in Sonic U8 is very similar to pubic hair jump, a move by which the title character of Kekko Kamen kills her enemy. This isn't real. You're memeing me. Whatever. In his chats about sex with Panda Halo, Chris mentioned that he's watched some pornographic hentai. Well, I mean, it could be something other than hentai. It could be yuri or yaoi or a number of different things. But yeah, probably hentai. Anime. But he didn't go into any further detail. If he did, we could pin it down. As Christorians, we need to know. In 2020, Chris made the somewhat dubious claim that watching Cells at Work would strengthen one's immune system against the Corvid. He also posted about B&A, a brand new animal. I have not watched B&A, but Cells at Work is good. I may be biased because as a kid I watched, what's it called? Ozzy and Drex? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's got the same kind of gimmick, and I just really enjoyed Cells at Work. Cool weeb fact for a cool weeb day. Anime and Sonichu. Although Chris was interested in anime before he began drawing his Sonichu comics, he didn't start giving the characters in his comic an obvious anime-inspired look until Sonichu number 5, which he completed in the spring of 2006. This was almost certainly the result of Megan Schroeder's influence. She was a big fan of Sailor Moon and other popular Japanese cartoons, and Chris was pursuing her especially fervently at the time. Practically speaking, not particularly, I can't read, I apologize. Practically speaking, this shift in style involved giving his characters huge prismatic, saucer-like eyes, which make them look more stoned than Animu, or a set theoretic intersection. And we have a symbol over here. Okay, don't understand. Eyes. He also made use of creative elements that work in anime but not in a sequential comic, as well as tedious and unnecessary cliches common to anime. Needless to say, despite the radical artwork style change in his comics, Chris still was cock-blocked. Since his relationship with Megan deteriorated, eventually blowing up in his face, that is right. One day we may have to cover the image she came for quick. That is not today, but it may be later. Anime hasn't been so obvious an influence on Chris's artwork. He still goes overboard with the giant saucer eyes from time to time, though. And over here we have a little anime. Oh, that's probably this thing. Okay, yeah. I understand. I've downloaded the lore. We have a little thing from the comic here. Ah, she had a little too much excitement, so she changed the subject. That's so cute. She truly cares about me. So kawaii, ugu. Going on, we have anime Chris has ripped off. I don't know why the list is so short. I'm sure it could be expanded. Like every other form of entertainment he enjoys, Chris views anime as a rich source of ideas that he can swipe and integrate into his own original works. Aside from the most obvious victims of his anti-creativity, like Pokemon, these are some. Okay, so the quickie acknowledges that this is just some of the shows he's abused. The My Little Pony greeting card that Chris gave to Mims mashed this series up with Naruto. Dragon Ball. Chris's infamous Kursi-Hami-Ha attack comes from Dragon Ball. Chris's Colossal Chan transformation from Sanchu number 10 is also based on the Super Saiyan 4 transformation featured in the Dragon Ball GT series. Absolutely abhorrent, Chris. Why did you watch GT? I'm disappointed in you. Cutie Honey. I don't know what this one is. Chris quotes almost word for word Cutie Honey transformation speech in Sanchu 5. It should be clear why he even knows about Cutie Honey. Okay, so whenever you hover over that, it just links to a page that says Chris and Sex. So now we know. Excel Saga. Consciously and otherwise, Chris has lifted and butchered dozens of jokes from this series. He does that with a lot of things. Full Metal Alchemist. Yo, is this FMA or is it FMA Brotherhood? One of Chris's My Little Ponies is based off the main character, Edward Elric, so it could be either. Inuyasha. The entrapment of Wesley Sonichu in Sonichu number 2 rips off the similar entrapment of Inuyasha's titular character. Macross Frontier. Blanca traced her illustration. I'm having such a hard time tonight. Of Jigglyami over a character from this series, and Chris unthinkingly traced over her tracing. I mean, that's more Blanca, a troll ripping it off, than Chris ripping it off. Pretty Cure. Chris's Wonder Twin team up with his sister, Crystal, in sub-episode 8 lifts from this popular magical girl series, one of Megan's favorites. Sailor Moon. Chris ripped off Sailor Megtoon from here, obviously among many other things. Samurai Pizza Cats, which just sounds like a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but whatever. Maybe that came first, I don't know. In a spectacular display of unoriginality, even by Chris's standards, he swiped this title to give to Quickfill's platoon of robot defenders. Apparently, they deliver pizza in their off hours. Okay, Chris. Go off. Serial Experiments Lane. Lane Chu, a character that Chris created for The Watchmen, was named after the main character, Lane Iwakura. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Simon Chu and Simone LaRose Chu were inspired by this series, although Chris probably doesn't realize that. That's true, he probably hasn't seen Gurren Lagann. And I know I'm pronouncing Simone Chu wrong, but that's how everyone pronounces Simon Chu, so I'm just going to keep saying it. If Chris did watch Gurren Lagann, I think he would really like Yoko. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chris has made many fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards depicting himself and his creations. In Sanchu number 5, Chris would depict Sarah Nicole Hammer's husband-to-be, William Spicer as a character from the cards. Yu Yu Hakusho. Chris's Zap Cannon attack in Sanchu number 10 bears an uncanny resemblance to the protagonist's Reagan attack. End of Evangelion. Ivy got Chris to see End of Evangelion as inspiration for finishing Sanchu 9. Chris's summary: a generic tale of a boy's struggle for acceptance, a lot like him. Chris thought he saw symbolism in my Eva, but he's too stupid to see what it symbolized. Chris's favorite parts: the Misato and Kaji sex scene, where you saw only feet, because it made him feel that he was a big boy, and that he was watching a no-kids cartoon made for big boys. The Ray Angels that were kawaii and had boobs. The internal struggles of Shinji. Chris did not like Asuka freaking out. Everyone turns to orange Tang juice. What was this linked to? It links to Fanta. Oh no. Not clicking that. Ray Angels getting turned on by stabbing them. So, excuse me? Ray melting everywhere. Okay. The unhappy ending, because as we all know, he can't stand anything that's even remotely depressing. Chris was familiar with Evangelion prior to watching the movie at Ivy's behest. Quote, but not really a heavy watcher. Despite this, Chris owns a soap dish in the shape of the character Rei Ayanami. And I had to click it and see, and I'm not sure if I can show it to you. But, yeah, it exists. It's just as mentioned. As pictured in his hotel at Anime Mid-Atlantic in 2005. It's likely that Chris saw this item at the convention, didn't even register the figure as an Evangelion character, and bought it because he thought a soap dish with a hot anime chick on it would make for a fun novelty item. The reason why I'm not sure I can show you is I looked it up like a day ago and I forgot if it was fully covered, because knowing Chris, I don't know if it would be. Then we have some see alsos. We have a fan video that I will not cover. You should go watch it on your own, but I'm not going to steal some other dude's video. We have sources, and we have an end to today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Hit like if you liked it. If you didn't, don't. Anyway, see ya.